Hi. So this is a do's and don'ts video that I've talked a little bit about, but I'm finally getting around to filming, and that's do's and don'ts for mascara. But annoyingly, I've done it, but I'm going to do it again just to show you, just to demonstrate the mascara don't, because I think it's helpful, because you might be like, oh, I think that's how I do it. Now, why that's a don't in my book is because I can't really see there's anything there. So these are eyelash curlers. They're not instruments of torture, and I highly recommend them. So I'm going to take them now. I rest the curlers as close as I can to the lash line. I'll always do a demi pinch, so a slight pinch just to check it's comfortable. Any makeup artists out there, always check with your clients. Just do a tiny bit of pressure and say, how does that feel? If your client says okay, then you can press harder. So try and get your lashes as far, or get the curlers as close to the root of your lashes as possible. Then, quick tip, be sure the hinge isn't resting on the cheek. I often see makeup artists do this, or I see people on the tube do this. First of all, it's not comfortable, so lift it up. But second of all, you'll get a much better curl with your curlers at this angle. So once I'm on, I don't hold it on usually for this long. Hold it in place, and I do usually 3 pulses. So 1, 2, 3. Lift off, and then just look at the difference. Let me come a bit closer. So already, just with a bit of curling, this eye looks so much bigger and brighter. Tweezerman, in my opinion, are the very best. I've always found in terms of shape, they're quite wide, so you can really get, right from either corner of the eye. Some eyelash curlers can be a bit too round, so not as flat, more rounded in shape, which I find can be a bit too tight, so I can't get right to the root of the lashes. Other really excellent ones are Shiseido. These ones are Bobbi Brown that I really like. Kevin Aquan. These are used a lot in the makeup artist community, available at Space NK. I get my Tweezerman ones from Boots. When it comes to Highstreet, you can get brilliant mascaras on the Highstreet. I use a lot of Rimmel mascaras in my kit, but probably 3 of my favourites, L'Oreal Paradise, the L'Oreal Air Volume Mega Mascara, and Lash Revival from Max Factor. So 2 really good volumizing mascaras on the Highstreet. Let me just show you the Max Factor wand quickly. Nice, big, juicy wand. Okay, quick note at this point. Mascaras, the shelf life really of a mascara is about 3 months. So you'll get the best out of your mascara for the first 3 months of using it. After that, some mascaras can dry up a bit, and then I'd say probably you've got another 3 months max, but after 6 months, definitely that needs to go in the bin. They're pastes. They just don't have a very long shelf life. Things that you can do to prolong the shelf life is when you use your mascara, there's loads of product on that wand there, so use it. Twist the wand, use all the product on that bit, twist it, use all the product on that bit. Again, twist it, so keep moving the wand. And so often I find I can do both eyelashes, or both eyes, without dipping my mascara in. The age-old pump, please don't pump your mascara. When you do that, you're pumping oxygen and air into your mascara tube, which will dry out the mascara. However, if you've got a mascara and it's started to get a bit crumbly and it's frustrating you, do I have tissue here? No. Oh, that's annoying. Put some tissue in between your finger and thumb, and then pull the mascara wand tight through, and what will happen is you'll pull off all of the mascara that's on the wand that's maybe dry and a bit crumbly. So you clean it off, pop it back into your tube, and then your wand will pick up all the fresh mascara. Let's go to, we might as well do Lash Primers, because I've got them in front of me. Max Factor Lash Revival is a really good eyelash primer. So it's essentially a base coat. So a light base coat. I don't know why they seem to be white, but they're usually white. I guess it's helpful then when you do your mascara on top because you can see when you've got good coverage. That's a brilliant one. I absolutely love the Honest mascara. It has a brilliant primer on one end and a really gorgeous mascara on the other. I was really impressed. I don't know why I assumed a clean beauty product or a clean mascara wouldn't be that good, and it's excellent. And then of course Beauty Pie have a brilliant mascara primer too. If you're wanting really big volume, then do use a primer. Or if you're someone whose lashes are maybe not as long or maybe a bit sparse but you want more volume, try adding a primer underneath your mascara for kind of more impact. Now should we talk waterproof and tubing? Waterproof and tubing aren't quite the same thing. Waterproof mascaras I have a love-hate relationship with waterproof mascara, just because some are better than others. I swear by, and always have done, Bobbi Brown No Smudge Mascara. This is a staple in my kit. I've carried others, so actually Urban Decay Perversion waterproof, Lancome's Monsieur Big waterproof, YSL False Lash Effect waterproof, Dior Show waterproof I've always carried, but this is the one I'm never ever without because it doesn't budge. However, I have some clients that say, Hannah, can you please not use that mascara on me because I can't get it off. So something like Lancome's Bifacil will get it off, but if you don't want that hassle and you get frustrated with waterproof mascara really staying put as the Bobbi Brown No Smudge does, then you might be a candidate for a tubing mascara. They don't flake, they don't smudge, they come off with warm water, and all you need to do with warm water is just gently tease and it comes off almost in kind of strings of kind of plasticky-ness, and that is the genius that is tubing mascaras. What you won't get with a tubing mascara is because of the texture, it's quite hard to get the same kind of really thick, fluffy volume that you'll get with a non-tubing mascara. But what you will get is something that is completely smudge proof, completely sweat and humidity proof. They were first developed in Asia where the humidity is a big deal. So they are absolutely excellent if you don't want your mascara smudging or you struggle with kind of panda eyes and that kind of thing. Couple of my favourites. I couldn't find my Trish McAvoy tubing mascara, which is so annoying because I wax lyrical about it to people who, you know, message me with real mascara problems, especially smudging, because it just doesn't budge. So Trish McAvoy is excellent. I also, the Victoria Beckham new mascara, her Future Lash, is a brilliant tubing mascara, as is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. And then Clé de Peau do the most beautiful tubing mascara. Then let's talk a bit, shall we, about bristle versus comb. And when I talk about comb, let me show you. This is a Swede Pro Lash Lift Mascara, which I've been loving. But it's a very narrow, little fine tooth comb. And the separation and elongation is exquisite. A couple of others that are similar. The Lancome Lash Idol. This is slightly curved, but again, it's a plastic bristle rather than like a fluffy one. Urban Decay, you can see how this is well loved. Lash Freak. I mean, this was a revolutionary comb. As you can see, there's a trough in the middle that just holds loads of product. So you get super volume. The fine tooth comb pulls your lashes to great length, great separation. And I love the little nodules on the tip. Brilliant for doing kind of inner corner and lower lashes. Maybelline Sky High, Bad Girl Bang from Benefit. And this might be the one I demonstrate, but Legit Lashes from Huda Beauty. So you've got two wands, a comb on a curl for length and curve, and then a different kind of tooth comb for volume. The caution is you've just got to be a little bit more cautious as you apply it, because the bristles being quite hard and quite spiky, as anyone who's not gotten on well with a tooth comb mascara will say, it can be uncomfortable if you get it in the eye by mistake. Oh, tubing mascaras. Hourglass Unlocked is another excellent tubing mascara. She says, I just picked up my caution, was like, oh, note to self. Okay, so a couple of volumizing, fluffy, lash looking mascaras that I love. Hourglass Caution. It just gives, it's quite a narrow wand, but it just creates thick, luscious, volumized lashes. Love, love, love it. Pillow Talk Push Up Mascara. This is a comb, so not a bristle, but it's a great volumizing mascara, which is why it's in this pile. Marc Jacobs at Lashed. That is a bristle, excellent for full volume. Got to mention Lancome Hypnose and Monsieur Big, excellent. And then Clarins Supra Volume Bobbi Brown Smoky Eye Mascara. I mean, that's also quickly the sign of a healthy mascara. If you open your mascara, listen, and there's a healthy of product, excellent. If you pull out your mascara wand and you kind of hear nothing and it all feels a bit hollow, it's probably dried out. Excellent, excellent, soft, really buildable volumizing mascara. NARS Climax Extreme. I'm going to say I was on the fence about the original Climax, but Climax Extreme does exactly what it says on the tip. Right, let's go into application, shall we? I'm going to use the volume end and let's go. So when doing mascara, I always encourage people to pull straight. So from the base of the lashes at the middle of the eye, straight up. So unlike this side where I just went, take your time, go slow, pull from the base of the lashes. See, I've wiggled the brush a little bit to get it in between and pull up. Okay, pull up slowly to get full coverage from root to tip. When you then come to kind of the outer quarter of your lashes, at that point, by all means, pull, I'm using the tip of the wand here, from the base of the lashes out towards the end of the eyebrow. So that will help create that slightly fanned effect in the outer corner. Whereas at the front, we slowly pulled from the root of the lashes right through to the tip. When it comes to the inner corner, see, I'm using the tip of the wand and I'm just pulling those lashes in towards my nose. Yeah, so it's common sense when you think about it, but do those together and look at the difference. Yeah, I've taken my time, but in taking my time, pulling straight up in the centre, pulling out at the outer corner, pulling in towards the nose in the inner corner, I've created so much more of a lash than that quick did on that side. Then when it comes to lower lashes, let me show you how I do it with just like a classic wand. Each to their own. I find it really helpful to turn the wand vertically and then use the very tip to tease the lower lash. So if your lashes are very long, then what you can do is just pinch at the bottom and just take off. Where's that long one? Is it there? So just pinch gently, see? And you can just take off a little bit of the mascara at the end of the lash. As always, any mascara questions, just pop them below for me and I'll endeavour to get back to you. But just look at the difference. Mascara do's, mascara don'ts.